Hello students, myself Sumangla Virada. In last video, we already know that how to define the data creation using create table command. Now in this video, let's see about how to retrieve the queries here. Query retriever. So for retrieving the queries, so here we use the one more command, that is what we call as a select from where structure. It is the basics of SQL queries. If you want to retrieve the any queries, so in SQL you have to use the select from where structure here. So this is the syntax of select statement. First select as a keyword, next attribute list. So more than one attributes names if you want to specify, yes, you can specify those attribute names here by separating using the delimiter comma. Next is from table list. Table list, it contains the name of the relations. So which are the relations you require to process the query? Those relations names you have to specify in the from class. Where? Next is condition. So according to some condition, if you want to retrieve the information, those condition you have to specify here. This condition is Boolean expression that identify the tuples to be retrieved by the query. Conditions, it may be less than, you can use the logical operators less than, greater than, less than or equal, greater than or equal, equal, not equal. All those logical operators you can use for specifying the condition here. Multiple conditions, if you want to specify, yes, you can specify the multiple conditions using and or. So this is the syntax of the select statement. Let's take one example. Retrieve the birth date and address of the employee whose name is John P. Smith here. Now assume that this information is already stored in a database memory. Now I want to retrieve, okay, from the employee table I want to retrieve the birth date and address of the employee. Whose employee here? Name of the employee is John B. Smith here. As I told, if you want to retrieve the any of the queries in SQL, you have to use the select statement. Select from and where. So in the select class, what you have to specify? Which attributes you want to retrieve? No, those attribute names you have to specify here. What actually you want to retrieve now here? Here you want to retrieve the birth date and address. So which attributes in the employee table tells birth date? That is the B date. And which attributes it holds address? That is the address. So in the employee table, birth date is B date, comma address. These are the two attributes values you want to retrieve. Those attributes you have to specify in the select class. Select class compulsory you have to specify the attributes. Which attributes value you want to retrieve. Next is the from class. In the from class, from which table you want to retrieve the information. So birth date and address are present in which table? These two attributes are, okay, belongs to employee table here. So from employee table. Where? What is the condition? Is there any condition? According to that condition, if you want to specify or retrieve the information, no, those condition you have to specify using the where class. So in the where class, what is the condition they given here? John B. Smith. So John, it is what? John is the first name of the employee, B is the middle initial, and L name is the Smith here. So same thing, where in the where class you have to specify the condition. Where F name equal to John, it is the string type, that's why you have to specify inside the quote, and middle initial is B and L name is the Smith here. And end of the statement, so that is you have to end with the semicolon here. So when you execute this query, no, so what happens here? It executes, check the condition first. So where you hang the, okay, F name as a John and middle name as a B and L name as a Smith. So now in that it extracts the only these two attribute values, that is the birth date and the address here, because you want to retrieve what? Birth date and address of the employee. So now here it display birth date and address. So this is the output of this particular query here. Okay, is it clear? Okay. Next, take one more query. Retrieve the name and address of all employees who works for research department. So now in the query, first you have to concentrate on what actually you want to retrieve. So here what actually you want to retrieve? Name and address of all employees. So in the select class, which attributes holds name? That is fname and lname. These two attributes holds the name here, and address attribute holds the address information. So in the select class, first you have to specify the attributes here. Fname, lname and address. Which attributes you want to retrieve? Those attribute names first you have to specify in select class. From and fname, lname and address. All these attributes belongs to which table? So all these attributes, all these are the attributes of the employee table. That table name you have to specify in the from class here. From table name. What are the relations you require to retrieve the queries? No. So those relation name you have to specify in the from class. Actually the SQL relation we call as a table. Those table names you have to specify in the from class. Select attribute names from employee that relation table names and where condition. What is the condition here? Who works for research department. Department name they given as a research here. So then what is the condition here? Which attribute holds this research? That is the D name. So that's why you have to take as a D name equal to research here. So once again this is research is string type. That's why you have to specify inside the quote here. This is your given condition. Yes, D name equal to research. Yes, this attributes belongs to which table? This is the attributes of department table. D name is the attributes of department table. That's why in the from class you have to take one more table, that is the department here. And F name, L name, address are the attributes of the employee table. So that's why you have to take the from class, employee and the department as a table names here. One thing you remember, in the from class, if you want to specify more than one table, then in the where class compulsory how to tell how these two tables are related. So that's why what you have to take here, and you have to specify how employee and department are related. So as you know that in relational data model, you are using the concept of primary key and foreign key to relate the two relations. As employee and department also related with the primary key and the foreign key here. So in the department table, underlined means what it is? Primary key, T number equal to, and in the employee table, DNO equal to foreign key and T number equal to DNO. If this condition, if you take no, then what it means? First it takes the research where you are having the department number as a 5, same 5 it compares with the employee table wherever you are having the 5 here. So here also, sorry. So here wherever you are having the, okay, department number 5, those tuples it select. These are the two tuples and these are the two tuples. Okay, actually in the SQL you call as a rows here. Where you are having the department number and DNO equal to 5, that condition it is satisfied, it is true, then it retrieve the those tuples or rows information. What actually you want to retrieve now? So in this one you want to retrieve only F name, L name and the address. So here it selects only the F name, L name and address. So what is the F name? John. And what is the L name? Smith. And this is the address 731. See here, first tuple, that is first row is the John Smith here. In the same way, second Franklin O, Ramesh and Joyce here. So these are the four employees who works for department number 5 here. Okay. Next is ambiguous attribute names. Okay, in the select statement, you may have, okay, in the multiple tables, you may have the same attribute names here. Then it may be confusion which attribute belongs to which table here. So that same name can be used for two or more attributes. This one, in the SQL for the table, more than one table may contain the same name as an attribute here. So then what is the thing you have to do here? You have to prevent from the ambiguity. How will prevent the ambiguity? So you have to specify the attribute name along with the table name. So with the help of this dot here. So this is one example. This employee is your table name and F name is the attribute. To prevent from this ambiguity, to tell that this F name is belongs to employee table and L name is belongs to employee table and address attribute belongs to employee table and D name attribute belongs to department table and D number attribute belongs to department table. D and no attributes belongs to employee table. So in this way you can use to prevent from the ambiguities here. Okay. So this is one example. Same example I taken here. Here earlier we specified only what? F name, L name and address. To prevent from the ambiguity, relation name dot and attribute name. Relation name or table name. Table name dot attribute name. So then it prevents from the ambiguity and tells that these are the attributes belongs to that particular table. Okay, in this way you can also prevent from the ambiguity. You may have the question when actually this ambiguity arises. Okay, ambiguity of attribute names also arises where in the case if it refers to the same relation twice. Okay, for example, I want to retrieve the employee's first name and last name, and also I want to retrieve the first name and last name of his or her immediate supervisor. So now see here in the employee table, as you already know that in the employee table you contain the information related to employee, and also employee table contains the information related to supervisor here. So in this situation I want to distinguish between this, okay, first name and L name of the employee with the supervisor. So then what happens here? Now I have to prevent from the ambiguity. This F name belongs to employee table and this F name belongs to supervisor. How? By using this alias table name along with the table name here. Employee dot F name. So here instead of doing that employee, this name of the table is big. So instead of taking the table name as it is in for every attribute while specifying, you can also use the alias for the table name. That is what we call as a renaming. Employee is the actual name, that one I renamed as a E. So for alias you can use the keyword as a as here. Okay, as a keyword it is used to rename the any table with the new table, or you can call as a alias here. For any table if you want to create alias, then this is the procedure you have to follow. Employee as E, employee as S here. So then select E. Okay, E is what it is. It is the new name for the employee. It is the alias for the employee. And S is the new name for the employee. So now this is the alias for the employee, and this E indicates what? S, this F name and L name is playing the role of the employees, and this F name and L name play the roles of the S here. Okay, so S dot F name indicates what? It is the supervisor information. E dot F name indicates what? It is the employee information, where condition is what? Super SSN. E dot super SSN equal to S dot SSN here. Okay, so this is in this situation usually you have to go for renaming along with the because it creates the ambiguity here. Because if I take the F name, L name, F name, L name means what it is? How will differentiate that? This F name is for supervisor and this F name for the employee. So to prevent from that such type of the ambiguity, you can create the you can specify the attribute names along with the table name here. If your table name is big, then you can rename as a short form as a alias. Next is, as you know that, so in the select statement you are having the three clauses. What are those? Select, from and where. So if you are not specify the where class is used for which purpose? To specify the condition. If you want to miss this where class, it indicates what? No condition on tuple selection. You don't want to specify some condition. For your query, you want to retrieve the information without any condition. Yes, then you can go for use only select and the from class. And one thing you remember, so while using or retrieving the information without where class or without condition, so then what are the tuples you will get? No, it is the cross product here. Cross product, you already know that it provides the all possible tuple combination here. Okay, this is one query. Select all employees SSN and all combination of employee SSN and department D name in the database. So select SSN from employee, it retrieves the employee information. Okay, all employees SSN, and it is select from SSN and D name. Here it doesn't make any difference. Employee is the only one table. So in employee table, wherever you rank the SSN, that one it extracts and it retrieves as a resultant table here. But if I go for this one, select SSN and D name. From SSN is from employee table and D name is from department table. Then you have to combine these two. So if you want to join this two, as a where class is necessary, but here I am not used that where class. If where class is missing, then it perform the cross product. Okay. This is what happens when you use the without where class. So next is the use of asterisk symbol. Yes, even in the select class, as I told earlier, select class is for to specify the attributes. According to attributes, which attribute values you want to retrieve, those attribute names you have to specify in the select class here. So instead of attribute names, if you can also use as a asterisk symbol. So if you use the asterisk symbol, what it means? It retrieves all the attributes values of the selected tuples. So for example, here I taken as what here? Here I taken the asterisk symbol. Select star from employee where D no equal to 5 here. I have not specified any attribute name here. So then what happens here? In the employee table, how many attributes are there? No, all the attribute values it retrieves. The same way here also. Select star from employee department where D name equal to research and DN equal to D number. So asterisk symbol if I use all the attributes of the employee table and all the attributes of the department table where department number, department name is research is there so that information it retrieves. All the attribute values it retrieves. In here also all the attribute values of the employee and department it retrieves. So asterisk symbol indicates what it is. It default, it retrieve the all the attribute values of that particular table. Next is tables as a sets in SQL. SQL does not automatically eliminate duplicate tuples in a query result. Okay, in the query result, if you have the same tuples twice, that one you call as a duplicate tuples. So even if you have, then also it display the both the tuples here. If you want to eliminate it, okay, you have to specify. How you have to specify that? I don't want the duplicate tuples. I want to remove the duplicate tuples. So for that you have to use the one of the keyword, that is what we call as the distinct. Okay. So in the select, retrieve the salary of all employees and all distinct salary values here. Same salary if it is repeated for more than one employee. Assume that 3000 it is salary for the two employees. Then if I execute this query, select all salary from employee, then what is the output you will get? You will get the outputs as a 3000 twice here, duplicate. This is the duplicate of the salary. I want to retrieve the salary of every employee. Okay, then you have to go for like this. So for example, if I use the select distinct salary from employee, then instead of displaying the 3000 twice, here it display only once here. It removes the or it eliminates the this duplicate tuple. Okay, only once it is. That is what we call as a distinct salary. Distinct salary means what it is? It removes the duplicate tuples if you use the distinct. And all, even if you are not use the all here, just if I use select salary from employee, then what happens here? So now this one all is the default. Even if you are not specify, then it retrieves, it takes as a default as a all, and according to that it retrieves the all the tuples according to condition or according to your query requirement here. All, even if you want to specify explicitly, then you take the keyword as a all. So if you are not specify, in default also it consider like that only. But if you want to eliminate the duplicate tuples, then compulsory you have to use the distinct keyword here. Okay, distinct keyword if you are used, then only it eliminates the duplicate tuples. If it is not, then it doesn't eliminates. Next is table as a sets in SQL. As you already know that you can have the different types of the set theory operations. Those are union, intersect, and one more is the minus. For the minus here in SQL you are using the word as except. Except is like difference as a minus here. Okay. So corresponding multi-set operations. If you want to apply this union, except and intersect, then you can take as a union all, except all, intersect all here. Here is the one example. Make a list of all project numbers for project that involve an employee whose last name is Smith. either as a worker or as a manager of the department that controls the project. So this query requirement is what you want to retrieve the project numbers where that Smith works. That Smith may be manager who controls that project or may be worker who works for that particular project. So now here, so for writing the queries, if you want to retrieve the information, then which statement you have to use? That is the select. Select from where here. So now here that, Smith may be either as a worker or as a manager. Then I have to retrieve the two queries here. One query, it play the role of the worker, and another query, it play the role of the manager. This one, it plays the role of the manager, and this plays the role of the worker here. Manager manages the project, which one is controlled by the Smith. Smith will manage this project number, and that Smith, if it is not a manager, then Smith works for this project number. So here criteria that Smith may be worker or may be a manager. So in this situation you have to go for two queries, one query in the role of manager and another query in the role of the manager. For writing that, here I use select, distinct. What actually you want to retrieve now? That one you have to concentrate first. So in the query, first you check what actually you want to retrieve here. So you want to retrieve the project number, and project number holds from which attribute? That attribute name you have to specify here. Select distinct P number. Distinct P number means what it is? So same P number, if it is repeated twice, then only once it, if you want to display, then you go for this distinct. From this project, it is information P number you will get from the project table, and that person or employee is manager or not, that information you will get from department table, and you want to retrieve what it is, whether that name, here they given the condition as a name, that information you will get from the employee table here. So that's why select distinct P number from table. This P number is belongs to project table. That table name you have to specify here. Where class. What is the condition here? That condition you have to specify. What is the condition they given? L name equal to Smith here. And L name is present in which table? Employee table. And project number is present in which table? This project table here. P number is belongs to project table and L name belongs to employee table here. So now here thing is what here? So now condition is over, and what you are actually want to retrieve, that is over. So that employees manager or not, that information you will get from the department table. So that's why here you are taking one more extra table, that is the department. And one thing you remember, in the from class, if you are specifying more than one table, then compulsory you have to specify how these tables are related. You have to tell how these tables are related. Relation, as it is, as you know that, with the help of the primary key and foreign key. Manager SSN is the foreign key and SSN is the primary key. D number is the primary key and D num is the foreign key. So D number primary key in the department table and D num is the foreign key in the project table. So this relation also compulsory to specify the where clause along with the condition. So this is the query according to what? According to this criteria. What is the criteria? As a manager. One more criteria is there. What is that? Worker. So worker, that information you'll get from which table? Works on table. Works on table tells which employee works on which table. So if that employee is the worker, that information you'll get from works on table. So that's why P number you want to retrieve, and this L name Smith is fixed here. So that's why employee and project is same as it is in the previous query, but here in the place of department you need to take as a works on here. And next you have to specify how these three are related. ESSN is the foreign key in the works on and SSN is the primary key in the employee table, and P number is the primary key in the project table and PNO is the foreign key in the works on. So if you are take the more than one table in the from class, in the where class, compulsory you have to tell how these three are related. Next is, so that you have to check either as a worker or as a manager. Then you can use the one of the set operation, that is union. So union, you know that those are the tuples which are present in relation A or in the relation B or it may be present in both the relation here. So now that's why either as a worker or as a manager, that employee may be worker or manager or maybe worker here. So that's why it is possible with the help of the union operation. So yes, this is the using the sets operations in writing the queries. If you want to retrieve the queries, yes, you can also take the help of the set operations also. Is it clear now? Okay, thank you.